welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're going to give you the final installment of our Nosegay Sew Along. And it's been a fun journey. I've learned a lot. I've talked to so many wonderful people and talented quilters. It's been an amazing journey for me. I don't know what it's been like for you. Please let us know in the comments below. A couple things before we start talking today is we have a Facebook group, and I will be posting my progress along with my sewing for my Nosegay blocks, and I'm hoping that if you've joined along on this, that you'll be posting as well that your lovely little blocks that you've been making. And that group is not just about what I am doing, it's like what you're doing. So there are some amazingly talented people in that group that are blowing me away with the stuff that they're putting up. It's just awesome, just totally awesome. But before we start our topic, what we're going to talk about today, I want to talk to you about April Sawtelle from Sew Quilt with April Sawtelle. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. She's got a YouTube channel, and her stuff looks like a lot of fun too. So when you go check her out and you subscribe, tell her Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you, and just we're saying hi and how's it going. So let's get into this right now. Today we're not doing any sewing. We're not doing any sewing anymore because right now, as we're filming this episode, I've got 6 done. And I've got a lot of little fiddly stuff done, so now I'm assuming that this will go a lot quicker. The blocks will come a lot quicker, and like I say, I will be posting in the Facebook group. There's a lot of times I'm signing on at night in the Facebook group, hand sewing my nosegays. We try and do like a couple of times. We try and get in there after supper. I'm in Mountain Standard Time, right? Like I'm in Alberta, Canada, so I don't know anything about time zones or anything like that, because all it does is confuse me. So what we're going to do is I try and post, and once have gone into the room, you get notification when people are in there, and they'll write a quick little chat, hi, I'm in the room waiting for a sew buddy, you know. So anyways, it's a lot of informal, impromptu sew dates, as well as our monthly sew date that we all get the opportunity to vote on. Now, I know we have people from all over that are viewing this YouTube channel, and it's kind of hard to get everybody on the sew date, but I mean, we're going to try and run them a little longer, hopefully, and some shorter, you know. But the impromptu ones are wonderful. You get more one-on-one chatting with other people in the group, and you get to know them, and you get to make friends within that group. So we're going to talk borders on this Nosegay now. Now, one of the things I love in a quilt are piano key borders. I just find them very soothing. They're wonderful, fun, piece, eclectic craziness, and it's great. Now, what I have done is, like you see this is my piano key borders, right? Basically, this is borders on a roll that I have created out of my scraps. And I have got every description of fabric in here. I've got blacks, I've got grays, I've got every color that I've used in here. I've got browns, you name it, is in here. The only thing that's not in here is the low volume, right? So, I mean, I've kept this a very colorful piano key. Now, what my intention is with this is to put piano keys around the outside. Now, piano keys are one of those things where these are 6 inches. So you're looking for a 6-inch block in the corner that you can put, or a piece of fabric, or whatever. One of the fun things I was thinking about for my border that I was going to do is to put a little basket in the corner, like an applique basket, or, you know, where they applique the handle and have the handle pointing out to give it just a little whimsical nostalgia thing going on without really being too old-fashioned, you know. It's just, you know, this is basically, these quilts are very modern because of their colors and their brightness and their scale and everything else. But so I didn't want something too overwhelming, but I thought a Nosegay would be a lot of fun with little baskets in the 4 corners. So I have yet that to do, but that's my thing that I'm going to do. The other thing I like about doing piano keys is you can do fake miters with them. And a fake miter is basically you put, let's say, 3 bars of this 2.5 by 6.5 inch strips together, and you lay them and then you sew across on the diagonal. Well, on that diagonal, you trim away, part of it, and you now have a corner piece that looks like it's been mitered, and it hasn't. It's been one of those fun little things. I'll put it in the show notes below where I did that, where I cheated and did that. I think it was on the coffee cup quilt that we did that on, where we cheated and just did our mitered borders by, making a fake border, and then you just end up sewing it on so it looks perfect. But there's other things that you can do. Like if you have a really beautiful fabric that you want to put on there, put on the edge for your borders, that's perfect. One tip on borders: lay your quilt top out, your flimsy out perfectly flat on a big table. Now I get my dining room table when I'm doing this, because that's the biggest table I've got in the house, right? And sometimes I'll ask for the extensions to be put out, the leaves to be put out, so I have a nice flat surface to work from. And then I carefully measure that border, right? Now the board, and I'm only working on one side of the border at a time. Like there's 4 sides to a quilt. I'm working on one. And in that border, what I'm doing is once I got it cut, I pin the outside and I pin the middle. And then I start putting pins about every, like hand width, from my little finger to my thumb, that I'm going to now pin. So my border doesn't go like this, because I'm not stretching my border. Because as soon as you start stretching your border, when you go to quilt it, it's like this. And that's not a good thing. Never a good thing. The other thing too, when you're doing a piano key border and you use 2.5 by 6.5 inch strips, each piano key measures 2 inches. So if it's finished at 2 inches. So let's say your quilt is 80 inches. Well, all you need is 40 of them. It makes the math very quick. And if, let's say, your quilt was 81, you would take 41 of them and then start making a deeper seam along, a few until it measured 81. You don't want to take it off at the end, right? Because the end, it would be too noticeable. But if you just start pulling in every once in a while, you take another seam and you are gently pulling in your piano key border, that works too. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do, right? I mean, there's also another thing you can do, and I've seen this on I don't know how many quilts, and that my grandmother and her friends, like we're talking like older quilts, is they would take their little orphan blocks and they would make a border out of them. They just, they went through and, all the little 6.5 inch blocks, they had all these cute little blocks, they would take and put like a 6.5 inch border around just with little blocks. As long as the colors worked, they were fine with it. So these are something that you can consider when you're looking at doing your own border, right? I'm not telling you that you have to do a piano key border. It's your quilt, you do you best. All I'm doing is giving you ideas as to what you can do with this. Now, when I finished this quilt, I liked it very much, but I found the white edging, it was too much white around the edge, and I wish now that I would have taken the time and done the piano key on this one too. But I figured, well, okay, this is a lesson that I thought, okay, we'll try this. We'll do it this way, and we'll see. I like it, but it could have improved on it. So this is where I want to do like a piano key. So anyways, I hope you absolutely have a fabulous week ahead. I am so looking forward to our next virtual sew date. They are so much fun. We have such a great crew of people that show up, and they come and watch and chat and sew and show. Everybody that's doing a show and tell and holding up what they're working on, and it's a lot of fun. You don't have to come. Somebody asked if they had, when they got to come to our virtual sew dates, whether they had to be working on something I've designed or I've worked on. Absolutely not. You bring what you want to work on. And we all sit and sew, and we laugh and we giggle, and we have a great time. That's what you bring to your sew dates, these virtual sew dates. Also, don't forget the impromptu sew dates that we have in our Facebook group room. Right now, the way they're set up, I think you have to go down to, if your room tab is not, you don't see the room tab, you go to more, see more, and there's a room there, and they're really easy to join. You just hit the join button, right? So, and sometimes you'll see where people are already in a room, right? And you just click on that room and you're in, you're pretty much in talking with people. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, you take care. You have an absolutely fabulous week. Okay, bye. My husband and I would love to thank you for coming along with us on our little fun adventure here that we're having. We do have a Facebook group now, and that Facebook group is got some very, very talented quilters in there, and we love sharing and posting pictures and commenting, and it's been a lot of fun. And the advantage of the Facebook group is sometimes I drop patterns in there early, so you kind of get a hint as to what is coming next. After the Nosegay sew along, we're going to be doing curves boot camp right away. So we'll get you sewing those curves, and it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of interesting little blocks that we've got to work on. But we would like you to share, like, and subscribe. Telling your friends about us and letting them know that you kind of like our channel, that means so much to us here. So you take care. You have a fabulous week ahead. Okay, bye.